Hey guys, Casmo here, and today I'm going to give you my completely unsolicited advice on what helicopter you should start out with in DCS. So let's do it. Before we get started, I want to thank my Patreons, and if you want to support the channel, click that like and subscribe. And also check out my Patreon if you really want to help me out stay in the game of creating content. Alright, so I get asked a lot, what helicopter should I start with in DCS? And the problem is they're all so varied that there really isn't a great answer to that. It's not like any of them are really in direct competition with one another because they act differently and have unique abilities and quirks. So let's take a look at them through the lens of complexity, handling, and mission type. The Shark. This was the first helo in DCS and continues to dominate the ass-kicking role of ED's rotary lineup. It's a gunship with a unique design of counter-rotating main rotor blades and a single pilot cockpit, which means you have a lot of stability systems to assist you. But that's also a problem because it means you also have a lot of stability systems attempting to murder you. Handling the Shark is not as simple as jump in and go. I literally had to put myself through some old flight school training techniques when I started flying this thing and spend hours refining my touch doing idiot circles over an airfield. As for complexity, there's a lot going on in this cockpit, and in true Russian fashion it's all over the place. There really aren't that many buttons you need to map in order to make this thing spew hate at the enemy. But some of these systems do quirky things, and as you use them you need to pay attention to what systems cause other systems to act as you learn. Of course, the Shark is designed simply to murder your foe, so if putting warheads on foreheads is your thing, then this is your go-to. The Hip. Imagine someone took a cargo helicopter and then just strapped a bunch of rockets on for fun. Then you have the Hip. I only really just started spending some time in this aircraft, and I have to say I like how she handles. You probably aren't doing any dynamic flying, but again, you're not really meant to be. You can carry troops and cargo or go full carpet bomber mode, strap on dozens of rockets to pummel a grid square, so it gives you a little taste of being a gunfighter. As for complexity, it's got 3 crew stations and a cockpit for a reason. Buttons and switches are the name of the game in this beast, so spend some time doing cockpit drills to figure out where the most crucial ones are. Or just go live on Twitch and figure it out in front of everyone like I do. The Huey. Without a doubt, the Huey is an iconic helicopter that for generations will be the poster child for all things rotary wing. It's a classic design still used across the globe. And DCS uses a jack of all trades, much like the Hip, albeit with a lower cargo and weapons capacity. You can go full metal jacket air gunship and strap on some rockets and minigun, or have some door gun spray and pray while you touch down on a hot LZ. The cockpit complexity pales in comparison to the Hip, but it still deserves a little ground time to make sure you know what's what. She handles okay, though I personally feel like it doesn't have as much weight to it. It decelerates way too fast for my liking, making it difficult to do some maneuvers like rapid decel landings and bumping engagements. All in all though, it's a fun aircraft, and the inclusion of multi-crew capability rockets it towards first place for a truly unique cockpit experience. Lastly is the Gazelle. Now don't buy the hype, the Gazelle is not this radio-controlled toy flying on rails. The Gazelle is an advanced aircraft in real life, with stability systems and maneuverability that makes it do things that would make Maverick soil its britches. It's a very light aircraft and you can feel it. There are some curves that need to be applied to make this thing work right, however, and doing so would save you a lot of frustration, so check out my video on the Gazelle to keep yourself from going crazy in the cockpit. As to cockpit complexity, it's complex. I'll fully admit that I haven't cracked into it from a weapons employment standpoint, but much like the Shark, this isn't going to be a jump in and go aircraft for your hangar. Of course, this year we also have the Hind, the Kiowa, and the Apache inbound, so it's going to be an exciting time for the rotary wing community. But if you're itching to get into the cockpit for something now, I'm not going to make a suggestion of where to start. You have to ask yourself what kind of profile you want to fly. It's the same advice we get in flight school. Don't pick the aircraft, pick the mission. Each of these does things differently, and you have to know what you gravitate towards and what you'll enjoy doing. They all do something right, and they all do, and I mean all, do something wrong. Don't believe for one second that there's a perfect DCS helo module. But each are enjoyable in their own way, and doing what you want to do will help you decide which module to love. Alright, well that wraps it up. Thanks all you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys later.